Hey, welcome back. Today we are going to stare down what I like to call the final boss of linear equations. You know, that one type of problem that takes everything you've learned so far and rolls it all into one epic challenge. I am fired up for this one, so let's jump right in. So have you ever looked at an equation like this one with letters and numbers and parentheses all over the place and just felt your brain kind of freeze up? Yeah, you are definitely not alone. It looks super intimidating, right? The source material for this actually calls this the boss fight of algebra. And honestly, that's the perfect way to think about it.
Because we're not going to treat this like some boring math problem. Oh no. Think of this as the final challenge, the level where you get to unleash every single skill you've been practicing. Your power to distribute, your ability to combine like terms, moving things around. This is where it all comes together.
So here's our goal, plain and simple. We're going to give you the confidence and, more importantly, the strategy to solve any of these crazy-looking multi-step equations. By the time we're done here, you'll be the one in charge.
Okay, so how are we going to pull this off? Well, every hero needs a secret weapon, right? And for this particular boss fight, ours is a simple, totally foolproof checklist, a strategy that makes sure you win every single time.
And here it is, DCMMD. This is our 5-step game plan. First up, D is for distribute. That's how we bust open any pesky parentheses. Second, C is for combine, where you tidy things up by grouping like terms together on the same side. Then we got 2 M's for move. First, we move all the variables to one side, then we move all the plain numbers to the other. And last but not least, D for divide. That's the final move to get the answer.
Having trouble keeping that order straight? No worries. The source gives us this fantastic little trick to remember it. Don't call me Mr. Dumb. I know, it's a little silly, but trust me, it's the perfect way to lock those 5 steps into your brain. Distribute, combine, move, divide.
Now, this order is everything. There's a really solid logic to it. You have to distribute first because you can't move terms when they're trapped inside parentheses. It's like they're in jail. Then you combine like terms to simplify and just clean up the mess. It makes everything that comes next way easier. And you know what's really cool? Once you do those first 2 steps, this giant, scary boss fight equation suddenly shrinks down into a basic 2-step problem, and you already know how to beat those.
All right, enough talk. Let's put our secret weapon to work. Think of this next part as our training montage, where we're going to master that DCMMD checklist.
Okay, here's our first challenger. It looks pretty standard. We've got parentheses on the left, a variable on the right. Let's see how our DCMMD checklist handles it.
First move, D for distribute. We're going to take that 2 and multiply it into the parentheses. So 2 times x plus 3 becomes 2x plus 6. The right side just hangs out for now. And just like that, the parentheses are gone. Step 1, done.
Okay, next is C for combine. But wait, if we look at the left side, we just have 2x plus 6. Nothing to combine there. On the right, 4x minus 8. Nothing there either. So we get to skip that step. See? The checklist is flexible. So now we're on to M for move variables. We need all the x's on one side. I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. That leaves us with just 6 on the left, and on the right, 4x minus 2x gives us 2x.
We are in the home stretch. The second M is for move constants. To get that 2x all by itself, we got to move the negative 8. So we do the opposite. We add 8 to both sides. That gives us 14 equals 2x.
And now for the final blow, D for divide. We divide both sides by 2 to solve for x, and there it is, x equals 7. See how the checklist just melts away the complexity, one step at a time?
Let's level up. Here's our next example, and it's a little bit different. This one is really going to highlight why that combine like term step is so important. All right, let's stick to the plan. Step 1, distribute the 2. That gives us 3x plus 2x minus 8. Now this is the crucial part. Step 2, combine. Notice how we've got a 3x and a 2x sitting right there on the same side? Before we move anything across that equal sign, we clean this up. We combine them into 5x. See how that instantly makes the equation simpler? Now we're just looking at 5x minus 8 equals 12. And from here, it's a simple 2-step problem. We move the constant, add 8 to both sides. That gets us 5x equals 20. Then we divide by 5 and we get our answer, x equals 4. That combine step is a total game changer. All right, you ready? Time for the advanced level, the true boss fight. This beast has distribution on both sides of the equation. But don't you worry, the checklist, it works exactly the same.
Step 1 is distribute. We just have to do it twice. On the left, 5 times y and 5 times -2 gives us 5y minus 10. On the right, 2 times y and 2 times 7 becomes 2y plus 14. And just like that, all the parentheses are gone. The first wave is defeated.
And now, we just run through the rest of the checklist. Combine? Nope, nothing to combine on the left, nothing on the right. So we move variables. Let's subtract 2y from both sides. That leaves 3y minus 10 equals 14. Next up, move constants. Add 10 to both sides, which gets us 3y equals 24. And for the finishing move, we divide by 3, and we find out that y equals 8. Boss, defeated!
Now look, even the best heroes can fall into some sneaky traps. The source material points out a couple of really common mistakes that are super easy to make. So let's quickly go over how to sidestep them.
Okay, the biggest trap of all is getting impatient and skipping the combine step. If you've got something like 3x plus 2x minus 8, it is so tempting to just start moving one of those x terms right away. Don't do it. It makes everything so much messier. The pro move is to always simplify first. Combine that 3x and 2x into 5x, then move on. The other classic mistake? Forgetting to flip the sign. Just remember, algebra is all about opposites. If you need to move a negative term to the other side, you have to add it to both sides.
So, we can solve these tricky equations. That's cool, but why does it matter? Is this just some random puzzle we do in math class? No way. This skill has some serious real-world power.
Check this out. When engineers design a bridge, they have to calculate the perfect spot to place a support so all the forces are balanced. And how do they do that? They set up an equation that looks exactly like the ones we've been solving. They distribute, they move the variables, and they solve for x to find that perfect balancing point. This isn't just abstract stuff, it's the math that literally stops bridges from collapsing.
And that really brings us to the end. We've seen that even the most intimidating algebra boss fight can be broken down step by step and conquered with a simple, logical plan. Which leaves me with one last question for you to think about. What other boss fights are there in your life? A huge project at school, a complicated problem, a personal goal that could be beaten with a simple checklist, something to chew on. Thanks for watching.